Beep, have you been going through my boxes under my bed again? Then why was my old handheld on the kitchen table? Who cares? This is a great opportunity to show you all the games I used to play. This one, Beep, is a true classic. This never used to happen! Pixel Rip 1989 review for PlayStation VR. Let's begin! First up, let's take a look at the gameplay. You embody a girl named Nicola, who incarnates a game character called Dot. The main goal is to stop the Cyberlin Lord, who is using a magical stone to open a portal between the real world and the video game world to take control of the world's population. To stop the Cyberlin Lord, you will be playing a game on a handheld console. The actual levels on the handheld are incredibly reminiscent of the late 80s and early 90s video games, not only because of how they look, but also because of their gameplay mechanics. You can move, run, jump and shoot. They're all very basic actions, but the levels never get boring, as new obstacles are thrown your way, platforms decay under your feet, spike traps slow you down, springs launch you into the air, and a couple of vehicles also make an appearance. Dot can also change form when she picks up enough pixels. Doing this will give you an extra hit point, much like Mario when he collects mushrooms, and it also does improve her weapon's firing rate. If you take any damage at all though, you will lose that current form. These handheld levels can be quite hard in places, and it does certainly feel like you're playing a lost gem thanks to how Dot handles. Luckily, unlike the old games, there is a forgiving checkpoint system in place. The checkpoints come in the form of flags. Whenever you die after reaching one, you will respawn there and you have unlimited lives. The only time you will get a game over screen is if the teacher catches you playing the game too many times. To prevent her from doing this, you will need to distract her. You do this by shooting spitballs at objects in the virtual world. To add a bit more challenge, gravity does affect the spitballs, so you do need to aim slightly higher than your intended target. When you hit a target, the teacher reacts in a comical way. Although you should be playing the handheld game in these moments, the chaos it creates is just so tempting to watch play out. The boss battles really do mix things up, as they take place in the virtual world. Dot changes to colour and becomes playable on the desk right in front of you. You must even use spitballs to overcome enemies and obstacles. The boss in the schoolyard is very inventive, as you must shoot birds before they kidnap children, but you do this by looking through a screen. The birds change to pixel form when looked at through this screen, and it really is one of the game's many wow moments. One boss battle can be a bit frustrating though, due to its checkpoints and overall difficulty, and one very short vehicle segment may cause brief annoyance, but if you did play older games, the challenge is very welcome here, and other than them two moments, the game's flow is perfect. There is 4 main levels in total, and an extra small level that you can play during the conclusion of the story and credits. The 4 main levels you can replay at any time once you have beaten them, which is great considering the handheld console levels have hidden collectibles that come in the form of cartridges. When one of these is collected, it appears in a slot. This shows you whether you have missed one prior to the current one's location, which is very helpful if you're aiming to collect them all. A few of the levels do take place in the classroom location, but when you go back there for a level, there is some variation around you, and how you interact with classmates does change a lot, so it is still very entertaining, and the handheld levels are different. Now let's take a look at how immersive this game is. The graphics are incredibly crisp and clear, and they needed to be too, so that you can fully see each level's layout on the handheld system. I really did get so engrossed in the handheld screen that on a few occasions I completely forgot that there was a virtual world around me instead of real life. When I looked up to see myself sitting in a schoolyard, it truly was a VR moment unlike any other I had experienced. Each location is very detailed, especially for classroom, and it is very immersive. Sometimes when you're playing the handheld, kids will react to what you do, like if you're doing well in the game or if you die. It really does make you feel a part of the world, and your virtual fingers even mimic your own when you press buttons on the handheld. The story is told everywhere, inside the handheld and outside the handheld. The transitions are great and often involve stuff jumping out of the screen. Some of these moments do take control of the girl's arms away from you though, so it can break the immersion slightly, but it does ensure that you are focused on what is happening in the virtual world and makes you see story key moments. There are also completely new areas that were created just to tell chunks of the story. They do basically play out like cutscenes and they can be skipped, which is great for second playthroughs. The sound is amazing. It is all of a retro nature, and if you was a gamer during the late 80s and early 90s, you'll be truly transported back to that time. As soon as you start the game, the soundtrack blasts in, and from that moment on, the sounds never fail to bring back memories. Now let's take a look at the setup and what controllers the game supports. I played this game in a seated position just under 2 meters away from the camera. The head tracking was fine and the game did not make me motion sick. It really is best to be seated for this game, as the girl that you play as is always in a seated position. There is only one moment in the game where you must look behind you to progress, so I don't think it really warrants a standing playthrough. This game is played with the DualShock controller. The other controllers are not supported. A lot of the time, games where you control arms are made with move support, but this is a prime example of where the DualShock controller works a lot better. There was a couple of moments when I had to hold the options button down to recenter the camera position though, so that the handheld was lined up correctly, but honestly, it didn't happen that much at all. Now let's take a look at the length of the game and what trophies come with it. The game did only take me around 2 hours and 20 minutes to beat, so it is on the short side, but every moment of it is very high quality. Unfortunately, there isn't a platinum trophy up for grabs. In total there are 14 trophies that can be achieved. There is 12 bronze, 1 silver and 1 gold. A lot of the trophies are actually fun little challenges. There is a few normal ones, like beating for levels and getting all the cartridge collectibles, but a few are for doing unique tasks, such as completing the game in one sitting and reaching the level 1 boss fight without looking at the gear kit. Personally, I was quite disappointed that there isn't a platinum here, as every so often an amazing game comes along and you want to show off that you have mastered it in your trophy list. Of course, having the list as 100% completed on your PlayStation profile is still a way to do this, but a platinum just feels like a better reward. Even with its absence, the trophy list is great and reflects the creativity that is found in the game itself. And now it's time for the verdict. This is truly one of the most creative PSVR games I've ever experienced. There really is never a dull moment, and I absolutely enjoyed every single second of it. I just wish there was more. It is a bit on the short side. The story is crazy and very geeky, but how it all comes together and presents itself right in front of you is truly a magical experience. VR is all about immersing players in worlds that could never have been possible in standard games, and this game embraces that idea completely. If you have ever fantasized about kissing a pixel character, which I'm sure many of you have, then rest assured, this game even has that too. It's almost like all the developers just sat down one day and wrote down every crazy gaming idea that came to their mind and said, yeah, we will put that in too. But surprisingly, all the randomness does join together in a consistent way. This game is certainly made by gamers for gamers. If every game had as much love and care put into it like this, VR would most certainly become mainstream. Games like Pixel Rip 1989 really are for reasons why we bought a PSVR in the first place.
It's a swing wing, a fun thing, and every bump gotta have one thing.
Okay Beep, we're on for last level. I'm sure if we make it to the end, we will be transported back home.
Oh no, that's a shame. What's this? And I thought I was disgusting!
Feet t-shirts are now available. Check the link in the description of this video for more information. This game has instantly gone straight into my favourite list of PSVR games, and I really hope we see more of it in the future. As always, if you enjoyed this review, please give it a thumbs up as it really does help the channel grow, and subscribe for more PlayStation related content.